Coming up on Wake Up Nonstop Local, a slick start. Snow last night and this morning causing poor road conditions right now.
And we are live tracking those conditions on the roadway, including one crash on I-90. We want to help you travel safe this morning during this morning commute.
And that is why we are under a weather alert here. I'm tracking an active band of snow settling over the top of I-90 from Spokane to Coeur d'Alene. And that's why we are going to be watching out for the potential of some slick road conditions this morning.
Also this morning, can I get a lift? 14 skiers stuck in freezing conditions on a chairlift. How long they were stuck, how rescuers were able to get them back down.
And all aboard the SS Stallion, former Coug legend Clay Thompson has a new decal on his boat, showing off its new name. A Maverick and a Stallion cruising in style, coming up on Wake Up Nonstop Local.
Wake up, you gotta rise to the sun, and here it comes, it's time to make the best of what you got to give. It's all about rising, and I wanna be there.
This is a Nonstop Local weather alert.
Taking a live look this morning at I-90. If you're getting ready for your morning commute, get ready for some slick roads. Thanks for joining us here on Wake Up Nonstop Local. I'm Kalai Chalk.
And I'm Sam Adams. We are under a weather alert this morning because of active snowfall and slick conditions out there. We do have team coverage for you this morning. We've got those crews out on the roadways giving you an idea of what to expect this morning. And Jenny Power is in our weather center tracking it all.
Okay, let's get to Jenny. We want to make sure that we are focusing on this because we want people to drive safely as they head out today.
Yeah, Sam and Kalai, and what we're dealing with here is overnight we did see some accumulating snowfall. We caught a little bit of a break by about 3 a.m. before it started to ramp up again at 4:30. And so we've got an added layer here of some fresh light snow across eastern Washington and North Idaho. This is a live look down 195 near Cheney Spokane Road, where some of the active snowfall has slowed a little bit, but it's still a slippery start as we're waking up on this Tuesday. In fact, because of the active snowfall, we've got a winter weather advisory that has expanded through Coeur d'Alene and Spokane County as we are looking for a total accumulation of an additional inch of snow ahead of 9 a.m. and 1 to 2 inches toward the Palouse before 11 a.m. So it's something you need to be prepared for here as this second snowfall of the season, but really first significant snowfall is sticking around because of our freezing temperatures. Our current satellite and radar, we've got this band of snow stretching over I-90 and it's tracking to the south, but it's making for some slick road conditions, especially when we factor in our start time temperatures are in the upper 20s to low 30s. Now, as we move forward, of course, I'm going to be timing this system out hour by hour, but you need to be prepared for a slippery commute. Guys.
All right, and speaking of which, more and more people are waking up, headed out the door. More traffic on the road means you need to be extra careful.
All right, let's go to I-90 this morning in Spokane Valley where there's a crash reported. Ainsley Anderson live this morning near the Argonne exit. How's it looking?
Well, the road is now opened up again. The right-hand lane, it was closed eastbound right now on I-90. And actually, I'll turn our camera so that you can see some conditions that we're working with right now. We just passed the crash. It was in between the Pines exit. It was actually just on the freeway entrance right by Pines. And what we did see from driving by, the scene has cleared up just a little bit. Earlier when we went past, there were multiple engines and ambulances on the scene, but right now it looks like they just had a few police cars, and that truck that we said earlier that was flipped on the side of the road, it looks like it slid off, is still there, and it looks like the units are still working to clean up that scene to get that car out of the roadway. But as of right now, any blockages that were on the freeway have now cleared up, so that morning commute, if you are heading eastbound on I-90, should be a little more clear. We have been kind of going up and down this way, and I will say the freeway itself has been pretty easy. We have been taking it slow. We've been trying to stay under the speed limit just because obviously as conditions worsen, you never know what kind of road you're driving on. Black ice, that accumulating snow, but the exits, that's where it gets a little more slippery. And once you get off onto those roadways, well, I would say just slow it down, be careful because we are sliding around just a little bit. Reporting in the Valley, I'm Ainsley Anderson, Nonstop Local.
All right, so you heard Ainsley with the latest on the Argonne crash, but she just mentioned, which we are also seeing coming into the newsroom, a crash at Pines and I-90 westbound. So of course we'll be tracking that now.
Okay, we are hitting and entering the heart of rush hour this morning. Be careful out there. All right, continuing coverage right now from Moses Lake, where teachers will be back on the picket line today for a second day in a row.
Yeah, the teacher strike follows contract negotiations that broke down over the weekend between the Moses Lake Education Association and the school district. Union President Heather Whitall says that they're pushing to keep funding for ongoing professional development and training. It comes after the district reported financial struggles from a $20 million budget shortfall last year.
Teachers, though, say the money is there. It just comes down to priorities.
You know, a lot of us have spent money out of our own pocket. Myself personally, I was buying my own tape and my own staples and my own things like that we use every day. So it's definitely been tough.
The district says it hasn't received any proposals or responses from the union, but says it's willing to come to the bargaining table. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown is pushing for a new ordinance to ban the sale and distribution of kratom in the city.
Kratom is an herbal supplement. It's been used to relieve pain, but although kratom is not an opioid, it does affect opioid receptors in the brain and can therefore create a similar euphoric effect. City leaders now say they're responding to reports from police and a public safety team about a rise in kratom-related calls.
So we felt the need, based off of the information and the stories and the data that they've shared with us, that we have the power to put forward an ordinance that would put some parameters on this. And so we felt there's no need to wait. If we have the information in our hands, it's time to move forward.
Spokane County's council member Zach Sapone, meantime, says he's heard from people who lost their jobs and relationships because of the side effects of kratom.
The city says if the ordinance passes, it would be a complete ban, not just an age restriction. Well, we're getting new statistics on crime in the city of Spokane following a presentation from Spokane Police.
And that data now showing homicides in the city of Spokane are down, but the number of shootings without injury are up. There were 19 homicides in 2024 compared to 10 so far this year in 2025. Police say they have solved each of those cases this year.
Meantime, shootings without injury are up. There were 95 shootings in 2023, 88 in 2024, and so far this year there are 116. There is a caveat to some of these numbers. It goes back to the use of technology like Ring cameras.
A lot of times fireworks are called in as shots, that sort of thing. Seeing that number go up is most likely a process at which we are actually gathering better data than we have been in the past. Another thing to note on that is Ring camera footage is very prominent, and it's becoming more and more prominent as we go on, so we're actually able to capture that was maybe a shooting event versus a firework event.
Police say they'll continue monitoring the trends and updating the community as more data becomes available. Spokane County leaders have just approved the 2026 operating budget, closing a $20 million budget gap with some tough cuts.
County commissioners say they had to eliminate 120 positions to balance those expenses and revenues for next year. Most of those jobs were vacant, but 5 were filled.
If we would have not taken any type of remedial actions, we would have been about $20 million in the hole. We asked each of our departments, our department heads and elected officials to look at trying to keep a flat budget. On average, that would have been around a 7% decrease in expenditures.
County leaders also cut overtime and relied on projected sales tax growth to help close this gap. They say they'll now keep watching for future shortfalls as the next year unfolds. Congress now plans to investigate a strike on an alleged drug boat ordered by the Trump administration that may now be considered to be a war crime. The White House has confirmed that the military did order a second strike on this alleged drug boat from Venezuela in early September. It killed survivors from a first strike.
Lawmakers have requested a classified briefing from Admiral Frank Bradley, who ordered the second strike, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says that the strike happened in international waters to protect Americans and U.S. interests. Attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs have sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix demanding that it hold the release of a docuseries featuring Combs. Sean Combs' The Reckoning is scheduled to start streaming today. In a statement to CNN, a spokesperson for Combs accused Netflix of using stolen footage that was never authorized for release.
A statement from the docuseries director, meantime, says the filmmaking team got the footage legally. Combs is currently serving a 4-year sentence after being convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
Well, caught on camera in Wisconsin, 14 people stranded on a chairlift on a ski hill. Power went out, stopping the lift and prompting a rescue mission. Downed trees caused that outage, and the hill didn't have a backup generator to keep the lift moving.
The process took about an hour start to finish. The fire department helping the ski patrol speed up that process because of 25-degree weather on the slopes. No one was hurt during the rescue process.
Well, after being delayed, Schweitzer has announced its opening day, opening tomorrow with limited terrain.
All right, ticket prices set at $55 if you're new or if you're taking kids. It's a friendly reminder the beginner terrain area will not yet be open. Well, here's some headlines this morning. A former WSU Coug is paying his girlfriend the ultimate compliment. Clay Thompson just posting these pictures to Instagram showing off his newly named boat.
And you can see on the back of the boat SS Stallion as a special tribute to his girlfriend, Megan the Stallion. The pair confirmed their partnership over the summer, making their public debut on the red carpet July 16th. And now this seems like a next step in a celebrity relationship when your boyfriend names his boat after you.
Yeah, I think at that point you go from boyfriend, girlfriend to boat friends, which that's a big level of commitment. That might even surpass marriage.
I mean, and speaking on behalf of people who don't have boats, there's nothing like a friend with a boat.
That's the best, the friend with benefits to the ultimate degree. All right, more to come here on Wake Up Nonstop Local. Not a day to get out on the water, Jenny Power.
No, definitely not. We are seeing here winter weather impact the region, active snowfall, and even black ice. I'm getting you prepared to face the morning commute ahead.